Welcome to the second lecture in the course on Industrial Engineering and Operations Research. Now, we are going to start industrial engineering concepts. So, first thing I will be teaching in this second lecture is about production planning and control, and we will discuss something about aggregate production planning. So, let us say what is production planning and control. The process of organizing production activities to achieve efficient resource utilization and meet delivery schedules. If we are doing any production, how the things should be planned and how they should be controlled, that is our goal. Our focus is on enhancement of productivity, which is basically you can say the ratio of output to what input resources we give, and then reduction of cost and timely delivery, that is our focus. So, objectives of production planning and control is efficient resource utilization, then meeting delivery schedules, reducing cost, improving product quality. And what are the various functions of production planning and control? First is of course planning, you have to plan the things properly. Then routing, defining the sequence of operations and processes required to produce a product or services. In what sequence I should do the things so that I can get the optimum advantage. Then scheduling, how the activities should be scheduled. So, one is the like even in time wise, in routing we may have some type of layout, some sequence, but in scheduling we come about exact time, etc. Then dispatching, issuing instructions to start production activities and ensuring that they are carried out according to the schedule. So, some type of monitoring is also there. And fifth is the follow up, that means basically the control part. And if we just show sequence wise, it may be planning, routing, scheduling, dispatching and follow up, or there may be that interconnection between all of them, there can be some feedback also. There is a production cycle which I have displayed here, that here suppose there is a customer's input is very useful in predicting the sales forecast. Then once the sales forecast is known, that means I know that how much sale of the item will be there. Then preparation of production budget, then the budget is prepared. Then preparation of detailed drawing by engineering department. Then we do production planning. Production planning comes here. Once the drawings have been made ready, then you plan for the production, and then you of course give authorization of production. Then production control will come here. Then inspection and quality control, evaluation of production system. Then finished goods is made, and then again you dispatch to customer. Customer gives the further feedback, and this goes on. When we make the production budget, then that here the management comes into play, that is why I have made it management. And then sales forecast also management will take decision. Evaluation of production system, that feedback goes to management. So, like that things go. Now, what are the key things in PPC? Production planning and control is a very broad subject. Some of these things we will study in detail, but here I am just providing you some exposure. So, one thing is the forecasting in PPC is very important. That forecasting means we forecast, predict that. Purpose is to predict future demand. Now, techniques can be qualitative, that means based on the expert judgment, or they can be quantitative, like we can have time series analysis, etc. So, here another branch of that PPC is capacity planning. It ensures that production capacity meets demand. You have some capacity, every industry has a capacity. Certainly, you cannot say a car making industry that you produce 5,000 cars. Okay. So, there is a capacity. So, steel industry is there, it has got a capacity to produce some amount of steel. So, ensuring production capacity meets demand. Capacity planning involves determining the resources like facilities, equipment, workforce and materials needed to meet current and future demand, ensuring a business can produce or deliver what customers need. So, methods of capacity planning can be long term, which is something like facility layout, like you make the layout of the company, you construct building, you make different type of plants. And short term can be just resource allocation, that you have got 3 shops, but which shop will make what and in how much quantity, that can be done. Now, planning process itself can be defined into 3 types. One is the long range plans, they are over 1 year. Top executives are involved in this. Matters related to research and development, new product plans, capital investment and facility location capacity are discussed. These are long term planning. Say for example, Tata decided to start one electronic packaging unit at Nagaon in Assam. So, this type of plan is called long range plans, that they will decide. Similarly, you know that some businessman said that okay, they will start automobile production, and where the plant will be there, which city, which town, all these type of decisions come in long range plans. Intermediate range plans are generally 3 to 12 months duration. Here operations manager with sales and operation planning teams are involved, and they decide matters related to sales and operations, production planning and budgeting, employment and inventory are discussed. Like suppose the plant for making scooter is already there, but you have to discuss that what will be done this year, what is your focus, how many scooters you will produce, and for that purpose how much extra manpower is needed, and accordingly you can do recruitment, etc. Then short range plans are up to 3 months. Operations manager with supervisors and foremen are involved. It does issue of job assignment, ordering, scheduling, dispatching and overtime are discussed, that you know within say January to March this much production has to be done. So, in what way I should plan, that becomes the short range plan. Now, there is a term that sales and operations planning. That means it is basically, you can say, intermediate planning is initiated by a process known as sales and operations planning. So, you can say this is basically intermediate range plan, 3 to 12 months. And so, S&OP, that means sales and operations planning, is a process of balancing resources and forecasted demand. It aligns an organization's competing demands from supply chain to final customer. One of the tasks of sales and operation planning is to determine which plans are feasible in the coming months and which are not. When the resources appear to be at odds with market expectations, so S&OP provides advanced warning to top management. They tell that okay, you will not be able to meet the demand, etc. If the plan cannot be supported in the long run, strategic changes needs to be made. That strategic changes may be that like whether to produce in house or to purchase from outside. The output of S&OP is called an aggregate planning. It is concerned with determining the quantity and timing of production for the intermediate future, often from 3 to 12 months ahead. So, aggregate plans use information regarding product families or product lines rather than individual products. So, these are little broader way we decide. These plans are concerned with total aggregate of the individual product lines. Companies have developed several systems for S&OP, each with own planning focus. For example, company A may use S&OP with a focus on production decisions, company B may use S&OP for inventory decisions, and company C may use S&OP with a focus on expensive investments. An effective S&OP process needs some additional features to generate a useful aggregate plan. So, a logical unit for measuring sales output, then a forecast of demand for a reasonable intermediate planning period in aggregate terms, and a method to determine the relevant costs, a model that combines forecasts and costs so that scheduling decisions can be made for the planning period. So, all these type of things are done. The objective of aggregate planning is usually to meet forecast demand while minimizing cost over the planning period. When generating an aggregate plan, the operations manager must answer these questions. Should inventories be used to adapt to the changes in demand during the planning? Should changes be accommodated by varying the size of the workforce? Should part-timers be used, or should overtime and idle time absorb fluctuations? Should subcontractors be used on fluctuating orders? Should prices or other factors be changed to influence demand? So, aggregate planning strategies can be capacity options, means basic capacity production options are changing inventory levels. You can have capacity problem can be sorted out by inventory. Managers can increase inventory during periods of low demand to meet high demand in the future. If this strategy is selected, the cost of storage, insurance and handling will increase. On the other hand, low inventory will result in increasing lead time and poor customer service. So, proper inventory management, and then varying workforce size by hiring or layoffs, that also can be adapted. Okay. So, this type of things we can take decision, and we can also have other options like varying production rates through overtime or idle time, and then subcontracting can be another option, that you can give the contract to other party. Okay. That type of thing can be done. Then there are, so capacity options is this. Demand options, that means suppose you cannot change capacity, then you can change the demand itself. So, it is influencing demand. When demand is low, a company attempts to increase demand through marketing, advertising, personal setting and price cuts. However, sometimes these attempts are not able to balance demand with productivity. Then back ordering during high demand periods. Back orders are orders for goods or services that a firm accepts but is unable to fill at the moment. If customers are willing to wait without loss of their goodwill or order, back ordering is a possible strategy. This approach often results in lost sales. That means sometimes the sale may be lost. Then revenue management is also done in the capacity planning stage. That means most of the business models assume that firms change all customers the same price for a product. So, most of the business models assume that firms charge all customers the same price for a product. In this planning category, the idea is to match capacity and demand by charging different prices based on customers' willingness to pay. The challenge is to identify those differences and price accordingly. The technique for multiple price point is called revenue management, also referred to as yield management. It determines the allocation of resources to maximize revenue or yield. For example, airlines offer the ticket fare based on demand, weather conditions and festive seasons. So, to make revenue management work, the company can manage several issues. Multiple pricing structure we can have, like first class seat, window seat, forecast of the use and duration of the use, how many economic seats should be available, change in demand. This means managing and dealing with issues that occur because the pricing structure may not seem logical to all customers. It means managing new issues such as overbooking because the forecast was not perfect. So, one very important thing is about the aggregate planning is materials requirement planning, which we will study in detail, but here I am telling only materials requirement planning is a systematic approach used in manufacturing to ensure the right materials are available at the right time in the right quantity for production. It helps manage inventory, production, scheduling and procurement efficiently. So, input of the MRP will be bill of materials and inventory level, that means how much already in stock, and the output will be material order and production schedule. So, there are one dependent inventory model requirements. The requirements for the effective use of dependent inventory models are as follows. That means master production schedule, what is to be made and when, specifications or bill of material, inventory availability, purchase orders outstanding, lead times. All these type of inputs we can give, and master production schedule is basically the thing which will show that what thing has to be made, when and in how much quantity. So, there is a complete production schedule. So, we will discuss about the master production schedule etc. also somewhat in detail. Master production schedule is a statement of what is to be produced. It is not a forecast, and it shows that different type of situations we can have different type of master production schedule. Then bill of materials will naturally, it is a list of quantities of components, they will give part name and bill of material etc. Then procurement type, from where it will come, and many such informations will be there, and we can also indicate in the record that what is in production and what thing has not been released. So, this one. Now, we come to the modular bills. It is used by those companies where the product has several optional features. So, we may make the bills in the various modules. So, this is called modular type of bill. Now, example is that suppose you have got washing machine, but it has got many loading options, 5 loading options, capacity options are 5, type option is 2, color option is 3, motor option is 4. So, if we make the module wise bill, then only we need only 15 bills, otherwise the total options are 120. That means by different combinations, that you can have 5 into 2 into 3 into 4, you can get 120 options, but we can have different modules thing. So, you can manage with this one. So, now we also have planning bills, are also called pseudo or super bills, are created in order to assign an artificial parent to the bill of materials. Such bills are used to group sub-assemblies, so the number of items to be scheduled is reduced. Also, it is used to issue kits to the production department. For example, it may not be efficient to issue expensive items such as washers, nuts and cattle pins with each of the numerous sub-assemblies. Hence, kits are used to generate a planning bill. The planning bill specifies the kit to be issued. A planning bill may also be known as kitted material or kit. And then we have some phantom bills. Phantom bills of materials are bills of material for components that exist only temporarily. These components go directly into another assembly and are not inventoried. Hence, components of phantom bills of materials are coded to receive special treatment. They are handled as an integral part of their parent item. An example is a transmission shaft with gears and bearing assembly that is placed directly into a transmission, so it will go away. Then we take lot sizing decision, and material requirement system is an efficient way to do production planning and determine net requirement. However, net requirements still demand a decision about how much and when to order. This decision is called lot sizing decision. Some techniques of lot sizing decisions are periodic order quantity. Periodic order quantity is a lot sizing technique that orders the quantity needed during a predetermined time between orders, say every 4 weeks. POQ is the ordered quantity that covers the specific demand for the interval. Then lot for lot, when frequent orders are economical and just-in-time inventory techniques are implemented, lot for lot is used. However, when setup costs are significant, lot for lot can be expensive. So, economic order quantity is useful when we relatively constant demand. EOQ lot sizing often does not perform well in MRP with varying demand. Sometimes operations managers take advantage of demand information when it is known. In such cases, EOQ is used to do lot sizing for comparison purpose. Now, there is a term called closed loop MRP. Closed loop materials requirement planning implies an MRP system that provides feedback to scheduling from the inventory control system. A closed loop MRP system provides information to the capacity plan, master production schedule, and ultimately to the production plan. There is one term called manufacturing resource planning. Manufacturing resource planning MRP2 is an advanced version of materials requirement planning that integrates all aspects of manufacturing, including production planning, scheduling, inventory control, finance, and workforce management. So it provides a holistic approach to managing resource, materials, and business operations to improve efficiency and decision making. That means it considers availability of machines, etc., manpower, all those type of things it takes. Enterprise resource planning is basically integrated system for managing business processes. Its role in production planning and control is real-time data sharing, streamlined operations. So now to summarize that, actually aggregate planning is a mid-term planning process, 3 to 18 months, that determines the quantity and timing of production to meet demand while minimizing costs by optimizing resource allocation and managing fluctuations in demand. So its objective of aggregate planning is optimize production, inventory, and workforce. Strategies can be level, change, and hybrid approaches. Level capacity planning strategy involves maintaining a stable production rate regardless of the fluctuation in demand. Change capacity planning strategy involves adjusting the production rate in line with the fluctuations in demand. You change the demand, and hybrid is a mixture of both approaches. So we make the production schedule also, like this is a Gantt chart. We have many activities. Which activity will start when? 0 to 9 months, 9 to 18 months, 18 to 27. This type of thing is called production scheduling. Master production schedule is a detailed plan that outlines what to produce, how much to produce, and when to produce it over a specific period. Inventory control, which we will discuss little bit in more detail also later on, that is, it gives raw materials, work in process inventory, and finished goods. Anything which we keep in stock becomes inventory. We can have a lot of raw material in our stock, so it is inventory, and inventory minimization is a very important task. Work in process means half done work is done, that product is stored, and finished goods means I have made the goods but there is no demand or there is a delay in supplying the items, so they will be in stock. Techniques are that we will study that economic order quantity and ABC analysis. These type of things we will discuss later on when we discuss inventory. Follow up and feedback, that means control part, monitoring progress, identifying deviations, and implementing corrective actions. There is a one term called KPI, that means key performance indicators, that how your PPC is working, your production planning and control is all right or not. That can be indicated by delivery times and by resource utilization. Quality control in PPC, integration, we can do total quality management, and purpose is to maintain product consistency and meet standards. Now, what are the challenges in production planning and control? One is demand fluctuations. Demand of the product keeps changing, so there is a difficulty. Supply chain disruptions. Supply chain may disrupt. I am getting some item from, say, maybe different country, and in that country there is some problem, there is internal emergency, so products are not coming. So this type of things may also occur. And then resource constraints, that means I have limited resources, so these can be challenges. And then we have techniques. So what are the techniques in modern age? We are now using artificial intelligence, AI, in production planning and control. We are using Internet of Things, that means suppose inventory, lot of inventories are kept, how to locate them. We can use RFID technology, that means there will be some electronic chip type of thing with each item, and where it is physically, that information can come. Okay, and we can get feedback from other side, different lines also, using Internet of Things. And we can make, of course, digital twins of the process, whole thing. Suppose I am planning to produce some scooter. Before I actually produce in that year, I can have a digital twin of the whole factory, and it can tell me that in what manner that production will be there and what difficulty may be encountered in which month or whatever is that thing. So, what are the future trends in PPC? Future trends are that basically AI driven planning, artificial intelligence driven planning will be there. Data analytics will be used in big way. Lot of data is coming, even the customer's data, what customer likes more in the website, what he serves more, all that type of thing will decide in proper forecasting the demand, etc. Then automation and robotics, that means automation, how it can be used to improve the efficiency, and robotics, how it can be used to improve the efficiency. So, this is all about production planning and control, and I have basically discussed that in the detail, and particularly all these items we will be discussing in detail. Say for example, about material requirements planning, little bit more discussion will be there. So, this has given only you an exposure that basically what is the done in production planning and control, and what you have to study in these topics. We will discuss in each and every topic, we will be giving detailed lectures. Say for example, forecasting, that means how to predict that how much quantities will be required in the market. That type of discussion will also take place, and this will be done in the lecture on forecasting. Similarly, we will little bit will discuss about inventory management also. We will discuss of course about quality also, and various other things also. So, that is all for today. Thank you very much.